What is going on, all you action movie maniacs out there? It's your boy, Fat Samurai Guy, back again with the legend himself, Jesse V. Johnson, one of the best action directors going today. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. Very pleased to be here.
I know you're crazy busy, as always, but thanks again for taking a little bit time out of your day to hang out here in the movie dojo, hang out with the samurai, and briefly talk about your newest film, White Elephant. So how did this come about?
White Elephant was a script I've been trying to make for some time, and it's very, very, very loosely based on a Masaki Kobayashi movie called Samurai Rebellion. And again, very, very loose, but it was something that I really wanted to make, and it was planned as a huge film, and we'd been out to the likes of Kevin Costner and people like that, and the years were ticking off. And I like to make movies. I don't like films in development. And this got picked up by a producer called Corey Large, who I've known for some time. He said, look, I can get this going right now with Bruce Willis. So I said, hell yeah, let's do it. I love Bruce Willis, huge fan of his. As we got closer to shooting, it became evident that Bruce was having medical issues, and it was a little different Bruce that we were encountering to the one that I had worked with previously as a stuntman. But still excited about doing it. We jammed and we did it. It was a quick shoot in Georgia, just at the end of COVID, so there was still sort of restrictions and things like that going on. We're very, very lucky to get Olga Kurilenko in there. I wanted to work with Michael Rooker for some time, and it looked like this one was going to kind of work. We're both with the same agent. They said, look, go over there and meet him if you want. And he was sort of on the fence about doing the film, didn't know whether he wanted to do it or not. And I know that he owns part of a shooting range. He's a real sort of nut with shooting and swords and knives and sort of all those kind of macho things and motorcycles. So I thought, you know what? So I had the prop master put some of the coolest guns from the movie in the back of my car. And I drove over there and I did this meeting with him, and we talked about that part. We acted it out, and he's got a streamlined, Jetstream trailer. And we acted out there's some fight scenes in there. And,
nice.
And finally, he's like, I just don't know. I don't know if I can afford to do a small movie again. I'm on a roll with these big pictures. And I said, well, how do you want to see some of the props that he carries in the film? The character. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I brought him over there in the back of the car, and he looked at them. And then it was another hour of sort of talking about those and jumping around and trying them out and telling stories and anecdotes. And by the end of it, it seemed pretty apparent that he was starting to find this character of Gabriel, this sort of successful, retiring hitman enforcer. Later that evening, I got a call from my agent saying that he'd attached himself and he was happy to do it and was involved. So, and that was from that point on, it generated. Malkovich came in, and Bruce Willis, and as I mentioned, Olga, who flew in, and short.
Man, what a cast!
So it was really a lot of fun. These pictures shoot very, very quickly, which is a little bit of a shock to everyone involved in doing them. You have to be very, very prepared and planned and get in there and do it. There's not much money, and I think we brought a lot of explosions and guns and violence and special effects to this tiny little town in Georgia, and I think it might not have been the most welcome thing for them all, but by the end of it, I think they liked us. We tried to charm them as well, but it's a good movie, and hopefully they'll see that and sort of there'll be a little bit more understanding of the next film that comes through town. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I had
nice. I'm excited to check out this trailer, because you guys know me. I'm a huge fan of yours. I've said that for a long time, many years on the channel. Avengement. That's right. 5 stars on the channel, baby. And not that many movies get 5 stars here, but we had to represent.
It's rarefied water I swim in.
That's right. And also, I enjoyed, hugely, Hell Hath No Fury, baby. That's right. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. It was on the list. It made the list.
Brilliant.
That's
one of my favorites of last year too.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome interviewing Nina and everybody involved with that film. And it was just such a great movie. So you are on a roll, my friend. You are on fire.
I keep throwing punches until till trying to get up after each knockdown, and and just keep going and swinging for the fences.
That's it.
It's an interesting game. I don't, there was a point when being precious seemed to be the way to do it, and waiting, and then I realized, you do a good one, it doesn't last with you very long. You do a bad one, it also doesn't last with you very long. So it's better to just get out there and keep working and honing your craft and getting as good as you possibly can.
All right. Well, I can't wait to check out the trailer for White Elephant. That's right. Channel premiere of the trailer right here, baby. Let's check it out.
The men that work for me must be capable of violence.
Why are we burning this place?
It's called sending a message.
He trusts you, and trust is a valuable commodity.
Gabe doesn't just work for you, he's your friend.
I really want the respect that comes with this job.
It ain't respect, it's fear. I'm sorry to disturb you.
What are you talking about?
I'm the distraction.
Your boss has got another job for you.
It's being taken care of.
He made us. I'm bringing him in.
Onwards and upwards.
Hey, boss, we have a possible witness.
Just get rid of the cop.
What do you want?
Get in or you're dead! I'm tendering my resignation.
I'm gonna hunt you down.
What are we going to do? You're a mob soldier, and I'm a cop.
Well, I've got guns. A lot of guns. I'm taking that lady cop back to Mr. Solomon. Okay.
Just get rid of them both, whatever the cost. You got it, boss.
I have learned one truth. Criminals are their own worst enemy.
Look at me, mother.
Yeah, buddy. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, ho. That's what I'm talking about. Fire, explosions, guns, knife battles, fights. Hey, Samurai Guy, sold. I'm sold, my friend.
Perfect.
Hey, let's watch it again.
This is actually in Pasadena. It's a fantastic mausoleum that I've wanted to shoot at a lot of times. So this is Georgia,
Nice.
which is brilliant, and we shot an awful lot in this one location, which is a fabulous, huge sort of 19-teens restaurant that was on the high street there.
Nice. Can you? I know you can't spoil anything, but can you give us a brief plot synopsis?
Absolutely. So Michael Rooker plays Gabriel Tancredi, who's this extraordinarily successful enforcer for the mob. The mob in this case being Bruce Willis, who lives in this wonderful mansion and has this legal representation, sort of consigliere, played by John Malkovich. Everything seems to be going very, very well for Michael Rooker, and he's actually thinking about retiring. He's older. He's passing the reins over to a younger firebrand played by Vadir Derbez, who's in there. And they do a hit. It goes kind of messy, and a cop is left alive, the cop in this case being Olga Kurylenko, and it's his job to sort of take her out. And they track her down. He tracks her down. And it's something about age, something about wisdom, and something about the fact that he doesn't really like the taste of this particular assignment, but he ends up not killing her. He doesn't want to kill her. And in actual fact, he tells her to get in the goddamn car and they're going to get out of there. And it's my statement on these kind of characters. You know, there's elements of badness and evil in us all, but true evil is kind of rare. And he's not really an evil man. He's up to this point in his life, the people that he's killed and got rid of are all sort of, equally moralistically bad, other gangsters. But
Gotcha.
This woman, something clicks inside him, and he just doesn't have the grit, doesn't have the stones to do it in the end, and decides to take her. And it's a small decision, but a life-changing one. And in doing so, he has to take on literally every single shooter from the mob
Oh,
he used to work for.
I'm so sold. I love this part in the trailer. He's like, I'm the distraction. That was great.
Right. Yeah, it's a fun little piece. You know, he's got this wonderful house in the country. You know, nice big black Mercedes, and everything would seem to be going right. But that house ends up becoming his, you know, his last stand, or you know, perhaps his last stand. We don't.
Right. Spoilers.
It's rather cool. It's you know, it's a little different, and you know, I try to do these things, and you know, you can copy every other movie that's out there, or you can try and do something a little different, and you know, there's always a risk involved in that. If you're making a copy of John Wick, everyone feels very comfortable watching it, and it's good. But if you go out there and you do something that is different and marches to the beat of its own tune, you run the risk of not your story maybe not making it. But those are the ones I like the best, and you know.
How was it working with the lovely Olga?
I adored working with her. I'm working with her again. Hopefully, knock on wood. You never know until you're on set.
Nice.
We have another project planned together.
Awesome.
Very, very ambitious one that shoots in the UK. She's terrific. She came in at very short notice. She was exhausted. I think she'd been flying for 21 hours flat, hadn't slept, and she drove to set. And she's in wardrobe, and she's about to do a scene. And she said, "What have you got? I need to stay awake. I drink these very, very strong coffee drinks, caffeine drinks. One after lunch and one in the morning." I said, "Well, I've got this." And she grabbed it, drank the whole thing, and okay, let's go. Okay.
Hey, well, she's badass.
Someone I like, yeah.
Yeah.
The work is everything, and very, very professional. This gun stuff, she doesn't much care for guns and fighting, but she throws herself into it. She did the training, you know, she got in there and did it. It was brilliant.
Man, Rooker is taking dudes out. Oh, man.
Let me tell you, those stunt guys that he took out hand to hand, they really, he rang their bell. I mean, he's a strong guy. He's a Kyokushinkai practitioner, which is a very, very physical and very hard form.
Wait, Rooker?
Rooker is, yeah.
No way.
when we were prepping this one, we were looking for a place to rehearse. And he said, I've got a gym that I sometimes go to downtown LA. And we drove out to this gym, and it is empty. You know, the master is there. He's sitting in the back, a Japanese guy.
Yeah.
And Rooker's chattering away with my stunt coordinator. I said, "So how do you know Michael?" And he said, "Oh, he sometimes teaches here." I said, "He teaches?" So, "Oh, yeah, no, he's a Shihan. He's a master."
Wow, I did not know that.
They don't give that qualification away in Kyokushinkai. You've got to fight for it. You've got
there you
to.
Go.
You have
I like
to,
that.
You know, he's a genuine badass. You know, and the irony is he's been in movies with Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Van Damme, and he could pick them all up and break him in half. You know, if he wanted to.
Oh my goodness,
it's an interesting.
That is awesome to know.
Fan, we would love to do another one of these. We want to do another one. Michael and I have been talking, so we'll see. It'll be more violent though, more action.
Oh, now we're talking. I'm even more excited for the next project. But yeah, I'm loving these guns, man. I love this scene right here. He just straight shoots.
That's Luke Lafontaine, who's my stunt coordinator. And poor old Luke, I always put him in, you know, he gets the most ignominious deaths imaginable. If you see little pads on his chest there that look like abdominal muscles, as much as Luke wishes he has abdominal muscles, those are actually blood packs, each one of them with an explosive inside it.
Oh, wow.
When he gets hit, I think it's 6 or 8 of those all went off at once.
Ooh,
and these things smack you. They'll leave a little like you know, plate-sized bruise. So he had it fixed off at once, and when you watch the actual movie, you'll see him actually, you know, he gets thrown back about 1.5 feet. I think it knocked the wind out of him. It was
boom, man.
It was quite a special effect, that one. But you don't really want to put it on an actor who's come in for the day, so I don't mind putting on Lucas. He's the stunt coordinator, and he's always begging for dialogue. So
was this one of the guns where you showed Rooker and he's like, "I'm in"?
The MG42. No, that one we picked up out there, but the other gun, he had the FN FAL that he uses prior to this one, and the pistol collection, all that kind of stuff. I had the prop man put those together, and they're very interesting. You don't see them in movies much, and gun aficionados and people who are interested in those kind of details, and there are many, get a real kick out of seeing things used that aren't normally used.
Yeah, for sure. We got Bruce Willis bringing out his inner Scarface right here, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was a pretty hair-raising scene.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
A lot of fun stuff on this one. A lot of firepower. things that you don't normally see in a picture of this budget, because obviously with a film like this, 90% of the budget goes on the cast, and you're left with the scrapings to make the movie. And there's some really, really good stuff. I mean, those kind of explosions are extraordinarily difficult to do, and dangerous, and very rare to see in films anymore. You're going to see the CG version, but very rarely will you see the real thing going off. And the same with the guns. These are all practical blanks, not painted
amazing.
in micro flashes later, and the stunts are all for real. And this is sort of fun to watch. Now, I'm not kidding myself into thinking that's a reason to see a movie, or that is makes the movie a better story, or the acting any better, but it certainly helps sort of motivate me to get up and see something if I know that all that care and attention went into making it as much of a visceral experience as possible. And I think that's perhaps what sets these kind of pictures apart.
Yeah, and you're making movies. You're making movies for guys like us. So, guys like me. We just want to be entertained. We want to grab popcorn, get pizza, get the beer, whatever, and then watch an awesome, interesting story with fun characters, but with badass action that delivers. And big shout out. That's like all the stuntmen and everybody involved.
Terrific. We had some great guys out there. Bobby Lane, and of course Luc Lafontaine and his team, and I think it was Jessica Medina was his assistant, and they worked very, very hard on this. So it's hand-to-hand, knife fighting, gun stuff, explosions, fire, car. So it was a good one for them, and I couldn't have done it without them. They're phenomenal and really, really pick up the slack. So it's great to do it that way, and I love that you recognize that. That's good. Thanks for what you were saying. I only make films for myself. I've tried making them for other people. I've tried to make them for a particular age set. I've tried to make them for people who are fans of horror or whatever. You can't really do that. It's difficult enough to make a movie that has any kind of personality to it. The only way really to do it is to make the film that you would pay $25 to go and see in the theater.
Right.
Take your significant.
No, that makes sense. All that means, Jesse, is that me and you have similar interests.
Oh my God, there you go. It's an internal barometer. It has to always be ticking, and amazingly enough, it'd be quite difficult to follow that. When you're in the heat of the sort of making decision process on set. It's like, fuck it, just what would I really want to see happen here, and what's the most fun that can. And often you're faced with that sort of thought process there and then on set, which is quite interesting. But for me, it's always that. Just stick to your guns. What is it? What is the film that you would like to see most, and just stick to making that, and not try to sort of fake anything else. I like that. The big thing for me is never to cop out, never to say, oh, they'll like it anyway, let's just do it, or wing it. There has to be a thought process behind everything. And I think you can tell with films when someone in the creative side, when someone actually cares for the process, and it has that handmade sort of feeling to it, that goes into it, as opposed to something that's sort of put together as a money grab, which you see, all too often now, unfortunately. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I am excited for White Elephant. That's right. All the action movie junkies that are watching right now. I know y'all salivating. Around very, very quickly. Salivating. And so, what we got here going on? This is a very, very quick clip from One Ranger, and that is all you get. Oh, that was Jesse, who is a ex-MMA fighter and actor. He was in Scott's last movie, One Shot, and he's shooting a belt-fed machine gun at Thomas Jane, playing Tyree, the Texas Ranger. So we're doing the edit on that at the moment. But I thought nice I can't wait. Can't wait. That's right. We just got a quick exclusive right here on the channel. Thank you, Jesse. That off record, you can have that as well. Definitely put that up. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, this was a blast. It's always an honor to have you here on the channel, my friend. You know me, I could talk to you about movies all day, but I know you're an extremely busy man. So get back out there and keep making those movies that we love to watch. We really appreciate what you do, my friend. Thank you, Preston. Thank you for your interest, and I hope people dig the movie. I really do. We're going to dig it. Oh, yeah. That one. All right. Let me blow you up really quick. Anything to say to your followers before we end it? Just look out for it when it comes out, June 3rd. Take a peek. Hope you dig it. There was a lot of fighting, bleeding, swearing, arguing, that went into its production, and I think it's all there on the screen. Love it or hate it, it's the culmination of a lot of work.
Copy that. Thanks again, Jesse. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Take care. Thank you very much, Preston.